You will not scale your business if you are not delegating. In this video, we're going to talk about work-life balance, the bad and the beautiful. There's going to be an assessment you can take while watching this video to make sure your work-life balance is balanced. And then I'm going to teach you my system of delegation. Let's go. My name is Bryan J Noel, and I work with CEOs and founders who want to give a shit about themselves and other humans. What's the result? Personal and professional resilience. I'm a career entrepreneur who sold out of a company, but I wanted more. I wanted to be present with my family, with myself, and with my peers. Through a year of introspective work, I uncovered some false scripts, but not anymore. So I give you the tools to acknowledge old false scripts and write new scripts so you can live and lead from your whole self. The first question, is work-life balance a myth? Let's find out. According to the American College of Occupational and Environmental Medicine, fatigue in the workplace can result in slowed reaction time, reduced vigilance, reduced decision-making ability, poor judgment, distraction during complex tasks, and loss of awareness in critical situations. Are these the employees you want running around making decisions on behalf of your company? Those that are fatigued, tired, and burnt out because they do not have balance? So at the top, CEOs reported working an average of 10 hours a day, working on the weekends, working on vacation, and they said 36% of this is just reaction, reacting to events that they did not plan. What about the workforce? 45% report being burnt out. 3.4 times more likely to leave their current position because they are burnt out. 67% of the workforce attribute work-life balance to working from home, and those that have a strong work-life balance are 21% more productive. And this is why work-life balance really matters. When we start scaling a company, the walls are built so fast it's hard to predict who's left standing inside or outside. And tragically, this can end up being our family. As our company grows and strengthens and scales, we spend so much time on our company. Our family first, who supports us, is then left on the outside. And the great tragedy, if you do not do the introspective work early, you get burnout, you spin out of control, maybe even get kicked out of your company, and the wall between you and your family has already been built, and you have nothing. It may seem unlikely, but here's how so many entrepreneurs, founders, and CEOs end up running to ruin. Phase 1, noble denial. I'm doing this for my family. Oftentimes, we start with great ambitions, great aspirations. I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for the customer. I'm doing this to solve a problem. And then what happens is the company grows, the material gains and social accolades mask the erosion of family bonds beneath. We end up spending so much time working in our business and not on our business, we sacrifice the families that we attributed the work to. Phase 2, the triggering event. My mentors have taught me along the way, it's not if you hit a wall, it's when you hit a wall. Are you going to be prepared to break down the wall, climb the wall, or move around the wall? When we start out, things are awesome, energetic, exciting, but the mistake we often make is investing all of our profits, all of our energy back into the company. So when something happens, we have little left to navigate what it takes to reposition ourselves personally and professionally to get past this roadblock. Phase 3, the anger. Though it doesn't happen often, sometimes the roadblock we hit completely knock us off course, and it takes weeks, months, and sometimes even years to regain the momentum from when we started. And this is the true test. Will we believe this false script? If my company fails, I am a failure. The introspective work teaches us that our value is not based on the value of our company. But if we don't do this work and we attach our value to the success of our company and we see our company failing or struggling, and then we see ourselves as a failure, over time, our employees or even our family loses hope. And then we get angry, sometimes even enraged. How could they? We've worked so hard to build the company, save this company from a triggering event. How could people walk out on you now? And then at this point, we start losing hope in ourselves. Phase 4, the aftermath. You saved your business. Congratulations, that's incredible. You pulled through. But the question is, at what cost? Where does that leave you? Where does that leave your family? And this is where we can accidentally run to ruin. I love this quote. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. And that's why I wanted to share this video. Regardless of what happens externally, you can always be prepared to maintain your whole self. So today, how do we prepare? Let's do an assessment. Number one, let's assess your business. Are you delegating? That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to share with you my system of delegation. This is a major component to being prepared for roadblocks. But before we jump into it, a few other questions to ask. Do you have enough cash reserves, personally and professionally? Do you have ownership dashboards in place so that you can see how your business performs without having to jump in it? Do you have a contingency plan, even if it's a draft plan? What if you lose 50% of your revenue tomorrow? What are you going to do? Do you have outside support? Do you have mentors, therapists, guides, peers that can help you if you run into a roadblock? And here's your personal assessment. Are you honest with your loved ones? Do you sit down and have good conversations with your spouse or partner about where you are mentally, physically, spiritually, as a human being, and within your business? Are you present? Are you present with yourself? Are you present with your family? Are you present with your friends? Presence is one of the strongest attributes to maintain stability during difficult times. Next question, are you over leveraged? Is your house too big? Do you have too many cars? Are your kids going to the most expensive private school? As our business grows and our revenue grows and our income grows, before you know it, it makes it very difficult to scale back quickly if we need to. And then last but not least, are you working on yourself? Have you done the introspective work today? I personally believe the introspective work is the most important work for founders, CEOs, and entrepreneurs. So the question is, have you worked on yourself today? What have you learned about yourself? The last time you got angry, why did you get angry? The last time you felt disrespected, why did you feel disrespected? Instead of responding, be proactive. Take a minute and ask yourself, what's going on? And what can I learn from it? So let's dig in. New scripts for delegation. Delegation is an art. So we're going to talk about the psychological and the practical side of delegation. First, we need to understand this new script. I don't need to be a hero. When you're a small company, it gets very addictive to being the hero. People are asking you questions. People are respecting you. Wow, look at what you did. Look at what problem you solved. All of a sudden, you become the hero. But as your business scales, you no longer need to be the hero. The second new script is I praise value over activity. Most likely, it took a lot of activity to get where you are. But that doesn't mean activity equals value. Oftentimes, it's not activity that will scale our business. It's value. So what are we working on that brings value to ourselves and value to our company? Last but not least, I am shifting from being the problem solver to leading problem solvers. This is one of the greatest attributes to scaling your business. When you were small, you had to solve the problems. But now, your job is to lead problem solvers. You no longer have the capacity to work in the business as much as you did before. So now it's time for you to inspire and equip your company to be problem solvers. And as they're solving problems, you can focus on working on the business. So let's get into the practical, the system of delegation. So first, it starts with a list. Now, I've worked with a lot of founders, entrepreneurs, and CEOs. They start this process, but then they abandon it because of some emergency, some more critical task, and then they neglect the art of delegation, and it pulls them right back into the business. So this isn't a one-time task. This should be fluid. This should be something that you're working on every single week because it will evolve as you grow as a leader. So first, start with the list. You're probably writing down your task already in a journal, in a task list, on some software. But this list should reflect everything that you do every single day, including planned tasks, meeting attendance, interruptions, pretty much anything that takes your time or energy, you should be putting on this list, even if it's go for a walk at lunch. A lot of times we document the tasks that we want to accomplish, but we failed to document the interruptions. And this is the greatest opportunity for us to see where we should be delegating. Second, the grid. In our top left quadrant, we have items that you love and you're good at. In the top right, we have items that you love, but you're not so good at. The bottom left quadrant, we have items that you hate, but you're good at. And in the bottom right, we have items that you hate and you're not good at. I'm sure you can guess which items you should delegate first. Obviously, the bottom right quadrant. But taking your items, your task, your meetings, your interruptions, and placing them on the grid allows you to see what items are really pulling your energy. Because that's what we're looking at here. We're not talking about time management. We're talking about energy management. And the tasks that you hate and you're bad at are taking a lot of your energy. And another reason this is fluid is because this is going to evolve. And an item that you love doing when you started the business, you may hate now, and it's time to delegate it. So this is the delegation flow. As your company grows, you're going to spend more time being an owner and less time being an operator. So more ownership type tasks are going to flow onto your delegation grid as more operational tasks flow off your grid. Now, this is very important. A lot of leaders struggle with delegation because once they delegate it, they don't see it anymore. And so they end up micromanaging those that they delegate the task to. So it's very important as items flow off your delegation grid that you have dashboards and progress reports already in place so you don't accidentally micromanage the task once it leaves. And then last but not least, we have to be intentional about where these tasks go. Some tasks you may decide to keep for various reasons. Maybe you don't have someone on the team who's capable of doing that task. So you have a new task that's added to your list. Hire an expert in whatever particular task that you're unable to delegate. A lot of these items are going to be delegated to your team. It makes sense. But if you don't have someone on your team and you don't want to keep the task, you can also look at consultants. And this is a great indicator of when and why you should hire an outside consultant or firm to manage these tasks. And last but not least, look for opportunities to automate these items. There's probably great opportunities to delegate some of these manual tasks and just simply automate them. So let's review the steps. Document your task and place them in the delegation grid every single day. This is your work, and I promise you, you will see incredible dividends from this activity. And step number 2, this is what people neglect the most, but it is the most important. Document your interruptions. Every time you're interrupted, document it. Number 3, start offloading your tasks to the delegation buckets. Make sure that you have dashboards and progress reports in place. That way you don't accidentally micromanage those tasks or micromanage those teams that you've offloaded those items to. And then step 5, manage this daily. I would love to see your task list and delegation grid month after month after month and how it evolves. You're going to see more ownership items fall into your delegation grid and operational items fall off. Things like securing capital, meeting with key investors and key partners. This is the work of an owner. And the more effort you put into this delegation system, the more you are preparing yourself to scale your business. I've created for you my free delegation guide. The link's in the description below. Download it, use it. I can't wait to hear from you and how you're scaling your business from your whole self. Man, have an awesome fucking day.